Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 as we are playing as the Soviet Union. So the war began last episode between Germany, Italy, and the Allies, and France looks like it's already about to capitulate. I think we'll likely get our volunteers there before they do. It'll be like 3 days before we get our volunteers. But I don't know that we'll be able to do anything before they actually surrender. We'll try and help out, but I expect the French collapse is going to happen very, very soon. Now, before we start letting the game play and start making some progress here, did want to show you a few things. First, I did change up the looks, the icons, whatever you want to call them, the pictures here for our tanks, because we were using the best match for them. And frankly, that is not the best match. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the system, but I don't think it's working properly. They need to make some adjustments to it. And so I went ahead and changed them all up to make them look what they actually look like here in this picture. So this picture was fine. I think this is the one they suggest for best match. But in every other case, I think we had to change them. So I just kind of picked the one that looked the closest to what we have here. Not exact, but it'll be fine. It looks better than it did, because I really wasn't liking the way these things were looking. The other thing that we need to do is get the railway guns building, because we got these researched, and I didn't build them. I should have been building these this whole time, guys. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and pull factories from the support equipment to put into this. So just move it up here to the top, and then pull back on the support equipment. And we're going to need a lot more support equipment, so we'll put the factories back into it. Oh, wait a minute. We only have 4 going into this. Alright, so we might need to pull one from somewhere else. Perhaps the artillery or the anti-tank. All things that we can... there looks like they're going into... Okay, it's went up to here. That's not how I wanted that to go. So let's bring this back up here. And there we go. Beautiful. Alright, so let's go move this back down to the bottom here. And we'll get our railway guns, the first railway gun done in the 20th of June, 1940. So it looks like we probably won't have very many of these done before the war, maybe 2 of them. But that'll help. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of them done, because they do take a while to do. But they will be a nice bonus to have. And one correction on that, somebody was telling me that they were getting a 15% bonus from it, where I had said last time that it was like a 5% bonus. And that's what the Germans were getting against me in my test campaign when I played the Soviet Union, and that was a 5% bonus to attack. And there's a few other bonuses that it was granting as well. And so I looked it up in the files, and it turns out that it is done like the bombardment system, where it's not just a flat rate that you get. Instead, it's based off of the attack of the railway guns. So kind of like with the battleships, or any capital ships that are giving you a bombardment bonus, how much of a bonus you get is based off of the attack power and the number of guns, the total attack power that that fleet has. And so you can have a varied percentage bonus based on how good that fleet is. Same thing with the railway guns. So the Germans in my little test playthrough were only getting 5%, but apparently you can't get much higher. So I'm not entirely sure what controls the attack power of the railway guns. I know that there's a few modifiers that will affect it, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure why the Germans are getting 5%, while one of the commenters are saying he's getting 15%. Now, how they get such a big difference there, I can't really tell. But it isn't always 5%, so I did want to correct that. So I think that's everything. I think we're ready to go. Now, you'll notice that I did kind of change some stuff up over here, changed up our divisions and all that kind of good stuff. We'll take a look at that. I'm just slowly making adjustments here as we go, guys. Point is, we do have our divisions here now. These tanks are... Wow, I don't know why they're in such a garbage position here. But yeah, they're not looking so good, so we won't be able to use these particular ones. I must have just changed up their design or something. That's not the motorized ones, is it? That we sent over here? Hopefully not. So we'll just have to keep them over here for now. We're going to largely focus on defense, except for maybe right here. You might try and push back here. But we need to keep them away from Paris. In fact, we should probably send our entire army over here, honestly. So these guys are just going to sit back here until they get... we'll do this way first. But yeah, we're just going to have them sit back there for now. Key here is going to be protecting Paris. We'll give them a planning bonus for whenever we do want to attack. But now what we want to do is give this guy a fallback line, since he is not in a position to fight this division. So we'll keep him back here for now until he is ready. So we'll get our troops moving over here, and we can go ahead and slow this down since we're now actually fighting. And we're going to try and help the French stay in as long as possible. We'll just have to see how this goes. I don't know if we'll be able to make much of a difference here. I mean, you can tell they're just rapidly being pushed back here, as the French typically are in HOI4. So let's see if we can't attack here and turn this in our favor. Yeah, it looks like we will be able to push them back now. But yeah, we could make all the difference here, guys. You know, just our few divisions. I know it's not a ton of divisions. 6 if you count this guy. Excuse me, we had 6 divisions, 7 if you count this guy here. So yeah, we got rid of his order. We're going to send him over to the front now. I think he's ready for it. So now we're behind a river, so that defense will go easier. You can see that we're not winning here, though, so that's not good. We might be able to attack into the forest here eventually. But yeah, we did lose there. That's unfortunate. So what we're going to do is let's give this guy here a fallback line. Let him heal up before he goes back to the front. We're going to do some micromanaging of the divisions here. Just trying to help the French as much as possible. Looks like the Italians are also pushing forward over here. We did get the behead the snake. So this is going to give us some decisions, some operations, excuse me, to assassinate Trotsky. We'll also get a new operative available and one more operative slot. So we'll have to take a look at that. I don't know if we're going to have to wait to get him. Like 30 days is sometimes you have to do. We'll have to see. So remember, we do have to go down this route before we go to war with the Germans if we want to be able to get these focuses. And you don't necessarily have to go down this route. Remember, you're not going to be able to get everything. So you do kind of have to pick and choose. And we are in a difficult position right now, guys, because we already know that our Air Force has some horrible modifiers right now. In order to get rid of those, we do have to start going down this branch here. But I think the Army is more important than the Air Force for Russia, for the Soviets here. And thus, we're going to really want to go down the Army section here before the war starts, at least get a few of these done to get rid of some of those negative modifiers, as well as to get some of these really good modifiers that we can get in this focus branch. So we do want to start going down that eventually. There's also these ones here. A lot of these ones are pretty good as well. That can help you out quite a bit. And then, of course, you have these. So there's just so many choices to go with, and you're not going to be able to get them all. You have to make a decision. And right now, I feel like our biggest problem is equipment. And so I am going to go ahead and start working on the third 5-year plan because they do have some really good factory output bonuses that we'll be able to get through here. And overall, I think it'll be helpful. And we don't know how long this campaign will go. If it goes really long, we'll have a while to go through, several of these other branches here. Also, by getting the army ones, these are going to help us quite a bit once the war starts. And I guess they help our volunteers out as well. But they don't really help us with what I'm trying to do right now, and that's build the army up. For the most part, these aren't ones that are going to help build the army. They're just going to make your army better, which is great. It's good to have a quality army, of course. But I feel like we need a larger army at this moment. We're Russia. We're the Soviets. We need a larger army. So the best way to do that will be to go down this route. So that's going to be the plan, is to get some of these focuses. We're not going to get them all because I just don't want to spend that much time on them. However, before we start in that branch, there's one focus that I wanted to get before we start over there, and that's going to be this one here. And we're only going for it because it's a 35-day one. We know we're going to eventually want to go for it because there's some pretty good stuff over here. But mainly to get the stability up. It'd be a quick way to get the stability up. It's only 35 days. So that means it's a lot cheaper than what some people have suggested that I should do, is go with the improved worker conditions. This is 100 political power. So that's the reason why I haven't gone for it. It also hits your factory output for a time and requires more civilian factories. So I mean, this is not without cost. Now it is worth going to get the stability up permanently. So that's a good thing. And those modifiers are only for 180 days, those negative ones. But why go that route if you can go other routes? And so that's what we're going to do here, guys. Rather than take that one, which is, again, 100 political power, we can go with this one, which is only 35 political power. That's the equivalent to 35 political power. And you gain 50 political power. So, in fact, it's not actually costing you 35. You're actually gaining 15 from it. And then you also get 10% stability, which is a pretty good chunk. I think that's similar to what you get from that decision. I don't really remember exactly how much you get. Yeah, I'd have to do the math. I don't know. Maybe 12, 13%, somewhere around there is what you're going to get. So you get a little bit more stability for doing it that route, going that way. But it's costing you way more political power. It's also costing you factory outputs, civilian factories. So this is a better way to go to get the stability up, so we're not getting hit with that 15% factory output. And remember, we're also going to get a nice stability hit once we do these operations, which I did want to take a look at them. I don't know. Here they are. Raid Trotsky's village. That does require us to get a network strength of 50% in Mexico. Now, we're going to get another operative in 29 days, and I suppose that's what we'll do. We'll wait until he gets there. We'll just use that other operative, because he might be an operative that'll get a bonus against Mexico or something. We'll take a look, because remember, it also granted us a new operative that we can hire in addition to the actual slot. We're at 42% here, so we haven't got it high enough yet, so I do want to keep on working on that, guys. I would like to get Sweden in the faction. Why not? They won't be attacked by Germany either, so they should be around for a while, and then what happens is Germany conquers Norway, and they pull all their troops out, and then it's say, this is years later, Sweden then joins our faction, then Sweden can hit Norway for us and conquer that, take that away from the Germans. So yeah, we're just going to focus on the defense here. That does mean things will go a little bit slower because of that, unfortunately. I would really like to grab this here if we can. Try and get behind these troops, grab those railroad stations there. That'd be really nice, in fact. Let's go and send these guys over here. We can bring them back onto this front now that we don't need this anymore. And they have pushed us back from Paris here, as you can see. Yeah, Paris is about to be snatched. We want both divisions to go to Paris. If we lose Paris, I think the French could end up capitulating. I'm not entirely sure. So we have a tank that's currently going there. He's going to get there in 22 hours. I don't think we'll be able to stop these guys who get there in 17 hours, though. Because, yeah, they're in this province here, and I don't think he can attack here. Oh, maybe he can. All right, he can. But can we keep it going? I don't actually know. All right, so we're going to try and push there. I'm going to go ahead and send this tank over here as well. And they are going to stop us now. It's not so unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know that we're going to be able to do this here. Pushing back there. Struggling. Just struggling in Paris here. And we will not be able to take that location. Okay, so that's unfortunate. We are holding out here, so this is good. We could send the French planes, but I don't really think our Air Force is going to help much more than their Air Force is likely already doing. When's this guy leave here? 6 hours. We'll let him leave then. To do another attack here with these tanks. And yeah, they just keep on attacking across the river. Alright, so let's try and get over here now that they have pushed us back. And we're going to have these guys support this. Just kind of give us a moment to get our troops back over to here. We are holding out here just barely. Yeah, it's just barely. They are very close to taking Paris here. Let me see if we can't push forward here. We cannot. Alright, let me send another division over this way. Yeah, I don't know how well this is going to work out, guys. Alright, so we just need to focus on defense, I suppose. Holding this province isn't really all that important, honestly. It's Paris that we need to hold. Now we're just going to send them right back into it. I know it would be best to get the organization up. I can try for a second to get the organization up just a little bit before we send them in. Yeah, I don't think this is going to end up working out here. I'm trying to do another attack here. Yeah, I don't know that we're going to be able to hold this, guys. Paris does look like it's just about lost. Got tanks going in there, just trying to get the organization up over here. I don't think we're going to get there in time. And if they take Paris, then I think it might be over. Yeah, very well could be over here. Alright, let's go and stop that attack. Holding out with that one division that just got there. I don't know where that tank's going next. He's coming over this way. Okay, whatever. Denmark just capitulated. That means more German troops going to be coming over to the French border. You'll notice that our ships, or they're supposed to be anyway, all these ships here are supposed to be moving over to this port here. So that we can kind of reorganize our fleets or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to try and hold Paris. It looks like that guy just lost, but the French were able to get some more troops there. These guys are looking pretty good. If they can just hold out a little bit longer, then we'll be able to bring two almost full organization units. Actually, let's go and bring them now before we lose here. And hopefully when they get there, that'll be enough. We'll just have to see to hold Paris. Alright, so Iceland takes control of foreign affairs. So to do with the Danish. We did lose here, but we are pushing forward again. I'm trying to attack here. Yeah, it was really nice having the river bonus there. That was enough to get us into the green when it comes to Paris, but they were unfortunately not able to reinforce in time. Ah, that's a shame. Yeah, the Germans are causing some serious issues here. I didn't think we'd be able to do much here. Alright, let's hurry up and get across here. And with the fall of Paris, that has resulted in them capitulating. And oh lord, yeah, that didn't go quite the way I thought it was going to go. I thought because they capitulated, we would our troops would be pulled back, but apparently not. There we go. I'm not entirely sure what happened here. This is strange. Why they didn't pull back. And like, why are we not holding? There we go. So that'll give that to us. Alright, so here's been lost. So we'll have to like connect with these tanks here. Lord. Yeah, this is unfortunate. So we want to retreat over to there. And go ahead and grab this here, I suppose. Okay, there we go. They pulled it back. It just took time. Alright, I wasn't sure what the hell had happened there. Why didn't they pull them back immediately? Alright, so we were going to get our divisions back, though. We'll come back in 30th of November. So yeah, it didn't work quite the way we would have liked, unfortunately. We do have the ability to do this. It looks like we've had the ability for a little while. It was 75 political power that we needed. Let's go ahead and send it off to Latvia first. See what their response is. I assume they'll just let us annex them. Guess we'll find out. But yeah, I didn't know why the hell that was taking a little while for them to give us our divisions back. But yeah, we helped out a little bit. We kept the French into the war. I would say probably an extra, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from what they would have been. Didn't help much. Probably killed some Germans though, so that's helpful. Always want to kill some Germans. We also got some experience from that, which is very much needed overall here in our armies. We're going to go ahead and actually add something to one of our division designs here. I don't know if we finished up the tanks yet. I know we want to switch that artillery up, probably over to maintenance companies, and we're going to want to get more self-propelled artillery. Let me see what we're short on right now. I know we can give support equipment out. How are we doing on light self-propelled artillery? Pretty short. Okay, so we don't want to add that yet. All right, so we're going to wait to do that. We do have support equipment, and we actually have infantry equipment now. All right, that's fantastic. Okay, so I've been waiting for that for a little while now. So let's go and make some adjustments based on what we know now. So with the Bloody Sickles, we do have artillery. So let's go ahead and add some guns to these guys because we're going to increase their size here. Oops, that was supposed to be artillery. What we are going to do is go ahead and add some anti-tanks. And we might not have enough to do everything I want to do here, so let's go ahead and do one anti-air then. All right, looks like we can do a bit more then. So yeah, let's go ahead and add... We can add one more. Okay, we'll just wait. Yeah, we'll wait. We'll keep these in here. But yeah, this is going to be the look of them right now. We have these all in the stockpile, so we should be good to go. I don't think this will result in any shortages. No. So just making the Bloody Sickles a bit better. We still need to make use of that support equipment that we have, though. A lot of changes we have to do with that. Really, we just need more equipment. And unfortunately, we have to spend this political power on these guys here to get this done, because there's a lot of things. We can go ahead and speed this up again. There's a lot of things I want to do with the political power. But until we get these two annexed, we're stuck using it for that. Did knock out the support equipment here, getting us some more breakthrough in defense. It's going to be helpful. So let's go ahead and get more support companies. I guess we'll do the field hospitals next. You know, we'll do maintenance companies, since equipment's going to be a little bit more important for us than manpower, I think, in this campaign. So we got our volunteers back. Also, we got our operative. So those volunteers, I think, are right here. So they have arrived again. As far as what we're going to do with them, we'll probably throw them somewhere where they're not going to... We can probably keep them here. I don't know if there's going to be supply issues, though. There might be. We'll take a look and see if there's any supply problems. If there are, we'll have to move them somewhere else. For right now, let's go and get the operative. Yes, we did get somebody who has Mexican and Spanish nationality, so he'll be the best to send down to Mexico. He's also an infiltrator and he's tough. So let's go ahead and send him, the historical character that we got here, and we're going to do the build an intel network in Mexico City. Remember, it has to get up to 50%, so it's going to take some time to get done. All right, excellent. So we could also start building some of those 1 units since we have infantry equipment, and I don't think there's much else that they need, if I'm not mistaken. Did we finish designing those? I guess that's the key. Yes, we did. They're at 42. We might add the logistic companies here. We'll just see if that's something we can do or not. But for right now, I think they're absolutely fine to go ahead and start sending them out there. To go ahead and start getting these guys trained. We'll give them, as far as where they're going to deploy, we'll just send them over to Moscow. All right, so let's go ahead and throw in about maybe 10 units here. I'm not sure how we're doing on equipment. We might want to just do 10 and then see how things look as they pull those from the stockpile. All right, we still got a bit more. And we did finish up the national focus addressing internal affairs, and Latvia did submit to us. All right, excellent. So let's go ahead and now take the Red Army and bring them over to Lithuania. And this is the final step here, which we can go in and enact the decision now. But let's let our troops get on the border real quick before we do that. And we'll go in and get a new focus. This gave us some political power, which that's how we're able to do this decision immediately here. And we got some stability, which is going to drastically tick down those modifiers we were getting, those negative penalties. We do want to do all these. These are all good, but we're not going to do them right now. We need to start moving down this route here if we're going to do it. So we're going to go after the third 5-year plan. This is the 70-day focus. Does have a negative here, less civilian factories, but we get more growth. We get some research bonuses, and most importantly, we can get down some of those other ones. Oops. Overall, that one's not that positive, actually. All right, so we have a free dockyard here. Not entirely sure where we got it from. But let's go ahead and build some torpedo destroyers. We have the experience to make an adjustment here. So yeah, let's go ahead and take the sub-hunters and then turn these into torpedo destroyers. We'll name them in a minute. Let's go ahead and first get everything else set up here. So rather than having depth charge throwers, they're going to have torpedo launchers. Now, we don't have great torpedo launchers, but that's okay. I'm not going to research that right now. We don't have the radar or anything just yet. I think we're researching that, but we don't have it yet, and I'm not entirely sure when we'll get it. We can just make adjustments if necessary. Other than adding the torpedoes, there's no other adjustments we need to make here. I suppose we could remove the sub-detection here from the sonar if we wanted to, and that would kind of reduce the construction costs. And they don't have any depth charges anyway, so they don't really have any ability. I know they say they have a depth charge. I think destroyers have like a flat 1 here. But that would basically do nothing against the submarines. So there's no reason to pay for the cost here. And I think this is good to go. I don't think there's anything else we need to change here. So let's go ahead and save that. And I did not want that to upgrade it. So let's go ahead and say we're going to keep those things around, the sub-hunters. The whole point here is really just to have something to attack the few capital ships that the Germans have, and it could be useful in the future if we end up fighting anybody that actually has a fleet, say the Japanese or something. Torpedo destroyers are just a low-cost way to possibly do damage to very expensive ships. So we are taking supply or attrition here due to the supply problem. So we're going to need to move these guys to somewhere else. Just move them down here. Might not have the supply for that location either, though. Again, you typically have to keep them spread out in order to not have supply issues. All right, so looking at the situation here, there are some supply issues, but they're not bad. Yeah, they're not really all that bad, honestly. I guess we can just take a look at the supply here. And you can see that none of our supply hubs are actually being taxed too highly. But yeah, there's definitely some issues with the supply routes overall, but we're going to wait until we get Lithuania, and then we're going to look at it. As for now, this is fine. Though, as we get further in the winter, we are starting to see some problems here. Now, let me just take a look, because I think what we're going to end up doing here is connecting this route to this route here. Yeah, I think we will end up doing that rather than going up along the coast here. It's a possibility, I suppose. But then you have to build up, there's more railroads you have to build up. So just building from here, this province, over to this province, I think will be worth it. And then you don't have to build up right there. You don't have to build all this up either. So that would be one option to go. I think we're getting hit with, let me just take a look here. yeah, it's also, you know, we have these problems here. Suppose you could just build that one up, but then you have the other level ones here that are a problem. Yeah, you might not need to connect that if you just connect this one here. That connects them to level 2s. And as of right now, no level 2s are getting here, but, you know, that's not the main issue, of course. What we need to do is just go ahead and actually tell this one to do the motorized. We'll see how much that works. And so you can turn off here. I don't think it's applying these regions. So yeah, just go and turn that one off. And I think that's it. Yeah, these guys might want to be turned off as well. Maybe keep these ones on. Yeah, you want to keep that one on. Alright, so we'll see how that improves the supply situation. We did get the anti-air. Excellent. And we are close enough to 1940 to go ahead and start knocking out 1940 techs. So I think we'll likely start with this one here, the improved computing machines. Yeah, I always like getting that one first, a nice research bonus. And we can go ahead and send off the ultimatum as well to Lithuania. Alright, so we have 27 political power, and now our political power will no longer be reserved with these decisions here. There's a bunch of stuff we can do. Mostly getting all of our advisors filled out. Yeah, still some supply issues here. So we'll go up to the full. Let's see if that changes the situation. There we go. Alright, so that looks good. I might want to go and change up this one as well. Okay. But yeah, you can see here that you have so many other routes to improve supply other than building more supply hubs. I keep hearing from people in the comments, oh, build supply hubs, build supply hubs. They take forever, guys. 20,000 production. That is incredibly expensive. We annexed them. Excellent. But yeah, that's like super, super expensive. It's not something you want to do lightly. Just do it. If you can improve supply with other means, you should do the other means. All right, so let's go ahead and create 2 different defensive fronts here against the Germans. So technically that's exactly half. However, we're going to decrease this one more. I think that's the better way to do this. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new army, a new defensive army, which will be down here. And just give them a different color and stuff. We'll give them like a, I don't know, something like that. All right, so we need to go ahead and give them a front line. Oops, not the whole front, obviously. Just from up here down to right there. We'll give them a offensive order as well, even though it's not going to be their job. Attacking won't be their job, I mean. And then go ahead and take many of these troops that are in the back here. We have a total of 31, so many of the troops that we have are likely going to go onto that front, is what I'm thinking. In fact, let's just go ahead and get most of these guys selected. Maybe not these 2 here. And get them put onto this front. We'll see how... Ooh, hold up. That's not how we want to do that. There we go. Caught it right before I made a mistake there. Alright, so that'll be 22. So we do need to send a few more. Keep them around the border with Finland for right now. But yeah, we do need to send a couple more. These 2 could probably do the trick, I suppose. Yeah, that looks good. Let's go and send these 2. Alright, excellent. So we'll take a look once they all get there and see how many divisions we have on or in each province there. Well, we are in 1940. We don't know exactly when the Germans will attack us. If it will be in 1941, as they did historically, maybe a little earlier, a little later. We just don't know, but it could be really any moment as soon as they do that focus. I wouldn't be surprised if they already have that focus unlocked. These guys can go ahead and move if they're having any supply issues. It looks like they're good right now. There are some locations maybe that might be having some issues, but it looks like they're all good right now. The attrition that you're facing in some of these for some of these divisions is just because of the exercising. But yeah, then we'll figure out where we're gonna put our offensive armies. All right, so we did get the radar knocked out. Excellent. We're going to continue with this. Go and get the next radar now. Let me see which one unlocked here. Okay, we did get the ones for our tanks. That's fantastic. And we also got the radar for the ships. So we're going to need to make a lot of adjustments here, basically. So I guess we'll just have to do one more both of these destroyers and then go ahead and change up both of their designs because we're going to put some radar in these. And anything else that needs to be done here? No, I think that's all we have. We just made these guys, so let's go ahead and save that, and then we'll go ahead and put them right underneath the current one, this building. All right, and then we need to get the sub hunters as well. Will be D, and then give them the radar too. Just increase that surface detection a bit. Not that we really need them detecting the surface fleets. I guess the torpedo destroyers do, but let's go and save that. And then bring them under here with 2 dockyards. And deploy in Leningrad. Though it looks like we are using a lot of our dockyards for repair right now. Some of our ships apparently got damaged. That's fine. We do have some ships that got built, so we'll go and add these into the training fleets. Make sure they get trained up. All right, excellent. So the other thing we need to do is get those tanks. All of our tank designs are going to need to get the better radios in here. So hold up, before we do that, let's do that first. I don't think there's anything else that we've gotten since. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's not anything else that we got. I can double check like on the guns and stuff real quick and make sure. But yeah, it does look like we haven't gotten anything since the last time we designed this. We can look in the special modules, see if there's anything here. We got the dozer blade. I don't think that was there when we were designing. We also got the squeeze bore adapter, but yeah, I don't think any of these are going to be applied to this particular tank design here. So it looks good. And remember, we're getting increased defense and increased breakthrough. And apparently soft attack has increased a little bit as well. Armor too. But yeah, the defense isn't going up very much, but the breakthrough is, because, you know, tanks don't have very much defense. But yeah, look at the breakthrough. It's going up by 3 points. It's definitely worth making this adjustment, though it is costing us 6 experience. Yeah, that's surprising that it's costing that much just to upgrade this. It's probably not the one we want to upgrade first then, because we actually don't have enough to upgrade all 3 of our designs. So let's go ahead and upgrade these guys first. We do need a name for them, by the way. I wasn't going to continue using the Soviet name system. Which that does mean that this doesn't have... Okay, so we're going to have to, like, throw an alpha on there or whatever. And then get the improved radios onto them. But yeah, I don't like the Soviet name system. It's just very boring and generic. Just a letter and some numbers after that. So yeah, we do need a name for the medium tanks. I don't think I've seen any yet. Any name suggestions. So let's go and save that, and then we're going to want to change up production. This does mean we are going to lose a little bit of efficiency, unfortunately. And that's right here. Yeah, just a little bit. It's not a huge drop, but it does affect us. But I think it's worth it for the breakthrough, which is now much higher. I didn't see just how much that increased for these guys. But yeah, they had higher base breakthrough, so that percentage is going to make a bigger difference. I suppose we could take a look real quick. Exactly what the change here. They were 48.7, and ooh, this is all messed up. And it's not working. Huh? Do I need to like exit and then go back in? Seems like the damn. There we go. It's super broken. I don't know what happened there, but let's go and take a look at it. Now it was like 48.7, I believe, and now it's at 56.5. So a much bigger difference for where the medium tank's there. Let's go and change the light tanks up as well. And see how much of a difference this makes here for them. It goes up by 3. All right, so let's go and save that. And then we'll go ahead and change up the current design of these guys here. So we'll have to wait to be able to change the self-propelled. That's not that big of a deal, though. It's like 1 more experience point here. We do want to get those added in. It's kind of bummer that it's costing us so much here. I can see how some of those modifiers, which I said didn't seem like that big of a deal before, you know, that would reduce this, the cost for these changes. I can see how that could be useful given how important the army experience is. And even with all the things that you get now to increase it, you still find yourself constantly short on army experience, never having quite as much as you'd like. So we're going to merge these guys over here with this fleet so that we'll have 4 capital ships on 1 fleet with the 4 light cruisers. We'll eventually give them some destroyers as well to protect them from the submarines. We're going to just go and merge all these guys into this one here, and then we'll keep this one separate for now. We're going to put them over here though. All right, excellent. I don't think we have any other like destroyers or anything that we're really good at. No, we don't. You know, mining areas up, but we do want to mine up the Baltic eventually. So yeah, we're going to want to do that. And so we'll keep those 2 ships in their own little separate task force. We did get the 3rd 5-year plan. Excellent. Main point there is it's going to unlock some of these other things to get here. I don't know that we're going to do this one here, guys. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that one. We have a lot of other ways to get resources. And yeah, I don't think I want to spend 35 days on when we have so many things to get. Instead, we're going to go ahead and go right to the shift to the armaments production. And this is going to result in us constructing military factories quicker, civilian factories slower. I did set up a couple civilian factories to build before we started here. Looks like we already got that done. Because yeah, I realized we were going to go for that, and that would result in the civilian factories taking longer. We could go ahead and try and get a couple more done, since we're not in a good place with the civilian factories. Yeah, I've been focusing so much on the military factories because we needed them. These guys were just about done. I should probably let them finish. So let them finish, and then we'll do these other 2. Just to work on them for as long as we can while we're not getting the civilian factory penalty, which I guess if we didn't finish those by this point, then there's no point in even doing them first, because it wouldn't help us. So we did get the mountain bonus, mountain 2. So now our mountain troops will have higher soft attack and higher organization. We are in 1940 now, so many things to get, including the next line of medium tanks. But man, we're not going to have the experience to improve them, are we? But we do need to get one of these first. I think it's this one here. That gives you the heavy cannon. So you know, we might not actually need. Let me check on this one. I don't know if we'll use any of that, but there's nothing in this one here. So we might just go for the tanks next. Got the planes as well, but we still gotta go for the aircraft designer, so not gonna get that just yet. Also, we need to get the mechanized too, so we don't have those yet. That's a 1940 tech. So you know what? I almost feel like we should go for mechanized first, and then go for the medium tanks. Yeah, because we need to get these building. See, at least we're building medium tanks right now, even if they are a bit behind. I think we're about to get another tech done soon. Yeah, 17 days here. We'll get the infantry equipment, the better infantry equipment. Now, the Germans have not moved on to our border just yet. Not entirely sure what they're doing over here, or where their troops are at. Yugoslavian border? And like, where would all the German troops be? They're just slowly moving over here. And maybe that's what's going on. They're just taking their sweet time to get over here. They don't really have any other borders to be on. Hungarians just joined the Axis. Okay. Nothing unexpected here yet. Yeah, sometimes I hate the way they set up the troops, man. Like, you got 1 division there, and 4 over here. Again, it's just the way they prioritize some of these, the provinces. Like, you should have at least 2 in all of them before you go throwing 4 into one. And then it requires all kinds of micro to get them to, you know, fix it. All right, so we did get the infantry equipment. Excellent. Still some stuff here to get, but we'll get those later. Just some passive bonuses. I'm going to work on equipment that we actually need to build, which I assume would be the tanks next. Yeah, that's going to be the next thing we get. The 1940 medium tanks, which of course those bonuses will apply to that, increasing the soft attack and the armor. We do have some outdated equipment. Let me just take a look if there's anything. Oh yeah, these guys, we never did update them, so let's go ahead and do that. Also, we got the new infantry equipment too. That's right, so we're going to want to get that updated as well. Could make an argument sometimes to keep like the regular infantry equipment line here, the level 1, so you can get more of those built. I think we're doing pretty good on infantry equipment now because we have been building it for so long and we put so many factories into it. So let's go ahead and pull back. We got to the point that I wanted to get to here, guys. So let's go and take a look and see what we're all short on. Light tanks, self-propelled artillery, obviously the medium tanks. We always need more of those. Although I don't want to put too much more into them because we haven't even started to get in the medium self-propelled artillery. We haven't even got that designed yet. Nor do we have the mechanized, all the things we want to add to that division. Now I get the tanks first before I get the mechanized or the medium self-propelled, simply because the tanks take the longest to build. But let's go ahead and put these into, how are we doing on support equipment? You know, we're going to need a lot of that. We're at 4.5 thousand, so I don't think we need to make any adjustments. How about the artillery and all the other... Yeah, we're all good on everything. It's just the tanks. The stuff for the light tank divisions, essentially, is the only real problem here. So let's go ahead and step that up then. We'll go up to 25 here and 10 here. Also need more planes as well. Always need more planes, of course. It's helpful to have more of those. But let's really try and get those light tank divisions filled out, because as of right now we're short on them. So let's go ahead and build more of these guys, since we have so much infantry equipment. This is our defensive unit here. But we're also going to build more of the bloody sickles too, because I think we're good on all the equipment for those guys, although we do need to make some more adjustments to them. I think it's fine if we get like 10 of these guys here. Yeah, they should be good to go. We're not going to prioritize them for equipment, any of these divisions, but we do only want to build one of them. Alright, so that looks good. So now we're actually finally building divisions. Took us long enough to get to that point, but we are finally building some divisions up. Probably going to want to put some more troops down here. I don't know who's all sitting around in this army now. I know that some of them are over here. Nope, they've been taken out, so I'm not entirely sure where all these 8 divisions are. 2 of them up here. Are these all for Finland? Let's take a look here. If these are all for Finland. No. We have 2 divisions elsewhere. Oh, yes. I put 2 over here. Okay. That's fine. So basically, all of our troops are, doing something. We have them somewhere. And Bulgaria is not yet in the Axis, but they will eventually join them. Now, we don't have all these troops on their borders just yet. We'll get them placed here in a little bit, guys. Same thing with this army here. We need to get them placed. So where our offensives are going to be, I don't want to place them yet because we still have some supply issues on some of these areas. And so we need to get some of that improved. We did get the maintenance company 2s. And I got that easy maintenance, which will increase reliability. Just another means to get your tank reliability up. So the next thing we want to do, there's probably nothing over here right now, but we will want to do the field hospitals eventually. But yeah, there's so many other things to be gotten right now. We're already going for the 1940 tanks, medium tanks. We will have to get the heavies eventually, but you know what? Let's get the other stuff equipment-wise that we need first. We're going to get the anti-tanks, I believe. Again, we're waiting on the planes until we get the aircraft designer. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do next. Let's go after the anti-tanks. Just get those knocked out so we start getting better anti-tanks into our troops. Because I did see that the Germans had medium tanks when we were fighting in France. I saw they did have some medium tanks there. Yeah, but like here's another area where we just got 1 division. We are done with everything we had set up here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the supply situation now and see exactly where we need to improve it to make sure that we're getting supply to all the front lines. Now you notice that we're only able to get like between 20 and 15 to our supply hubs, which right now is not a problem in most of these areas. This is the one that has the most issues. It's not a problem right now. That's because we just have the defensive divisions on the front. Once we throw the offensive armies onto the front, we will have an issue. And that's why the supply hubs, it's not the key to increasing that. The key to increasing how much each supply hub provides is the railroads, which is why I've been working on railroads here and there, just so we wouldn't have to do it all here at the end. So that's the way to increase the amount of supply that each hub can provide total, is by making sure that the railroads that go to them is higher. So again, the issue right now in most of these areas hasn't been that, but it will be. So we want to make sure that we get, they can at least provide 20. So any areas like this, where they can only provide 15, that'll be a problem eventually as we put more divisions there. And then we also want to make sure that there aren't any locations that need supply hubs, because then we'd want to get those built now, since it does take so long to build them. Now, as far as what I'm seeing here, I mean, we're actually doing fairly decent. Instead, we need to increase the amount of supply each one of these can provide, because right now it's pretty low overall. Again, no problems yet, but we haven't put any of the offensive armies on the front with the defensive armies. So you can see the defensive armies are eating up half of the supply in many of these locations. You put the offensive armies and there you go, you're out of supply. So that's what we need to fix. And so like issues where you see 15 would be the first areas that we want to improve. So this one here is 15 because you need to connect it to level 2 somewhere. You have a level 1 there causing problems, level 1 there causing problems, and a level 1 here causing problems. And so the best way to improve that would probably be to just fix this one here, and then you can do the level 2 all the way through here. Well, that one would be fine too. I mean, any of them would work, honestly. But yeah, I guess we'll do this one here to improve that to 20. Down here, that would improve that as well, I think. In fact, I'm a little bit surprised. Oh, you got a level 1 there. That's causing issues. So yeah, if you improve this one here, then all this would be fine, except for these ones here, but that's not a problem. They don't really need any more supply, I don't think. So yeah, you improve that one, and then you're good to go there. And then just looking for other 15s that we need to improve before we work on the 20s, because frankly, this is, again, not going to be enough supply, the 20s. Now, getting enough supply to Romania might be a problem, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to build it up, especially if we're just going to pull back from there. And there's all these issues here. So you know what, let's work on getting up the supply in these areas first before we do anything else. But let's just build those for now, and then we're going to get a couple more civilian factories since we did get all those constructed already. So let's go ahead and do a few more civilian factories. We'll do... The ones in those 80% are super helpful. That's how we got those done so quickly, because they're the 80% locations. So yeah, we'll do 2 more in 80% locations. Throw these up towards the top here. And maybe even get those done before the military factory, actually. Alright, so that'll give us something to do for a little while. But as far as where we're going to put our offensive armies, here is a clear area where you can push through here, grab that port. Just looking at the railroad system here, this is a key railroad location. But probably best to go after that one. Go towards Danzig is what I'm thinking. Yeah, you just want to hit Danzig, cut off all the troops here. So you're going to want to cut them off there. As far as other areas for cutting off troops, again, we don't really have any like clear, good locations. Yeah, here there's a lot of supply routes going to the front, so it's just not as clear. Here it might be a little bit easier against the Hungarians, because they do not have a good supply network there. Yeah, not at all. So yeah, it might be a little bit easier to go after this here, just going after Budapest. So we might throw an offensive army up along here to try and knock the Hungarians out. The one problem with that, of course... Oh, we got some troops done. Excellent. So we're just going to take all these guys and I guess put them into this army for now to train up. So we'll just keep them here training. That does mean that any divisions that are here, which I guess we only have the one, but we should probably move them out. Just move them somewhere else. Yeah, just supply issues everywhere, guys. Whenever you put more than one... Or excuse me, more than a few divisions in a location. Red Army seems to be good where we have them. Again, just trying to keep them somewhere where they're not facing supply issues. These tanks eat up a lot of supply, so moving these tanks out of here might be enough. Again, just trying to find locations for them temporarily until we put them up along the front. Yeah, that should be good, hopefully. And they still need a lot of equipment, as you can see here. So we did do the shift to armaments production. Excellent. That'll be helpful. And then the next one that I'm thinking we're going to get here is one of these two. So this one here would grant us some more steel. That would be helpful eventually because everybody has steel problems. Even the USA and Soviet Union eventually have it towards the end game. But most importantly, you're going to get the factory dockyard output, 5%. That's very nice. Over here, you're going to get only a 2% bonus, but you do get research bonuses in addition to that, industrial research bonuses, and you're going to get some production efficiency growth and production efficiency base. We won't be able to go for this one because we haven't got rubber processing, and we're not going to go for this one because we don't really need it. I guess infrastructure and railways would be helpful down there, but yeah, I don't think it's worth spending the time on this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to do here, is get the factory output bonuses, which is as far as the worth of this. A 5% bonus for output is basically like one of those concentrated industry. That's like a third of what you're getting from one concentrated industry focus. Half of what you get for the dispersed. So obviously not a huge bonus there. So you wouldn't want to do it for just a 5%, but because we're also getting the 10 steel and 2 more civilian factories, that's where I feel like this one's worth it. And then down here, 2% obviously is not very significant at all. But with the growth and the base, that's huge because that's half of what you get from those other techs that, one of them we can't even get because it's a dispersed. So that's half of what you get for the dispersed when it comes to the base. And then the growth, you only increase that by 10% if you go with that one down the machine tools in the industrial line. And that's at the very end. So that's half of what you get there. And then plus you get the 2 research bonuses for production. So yeah, I feel like these 2 are worth it. But that's it. That's all we'll go for. And then we'll be done here, guys. And we would have had all the ones that we have to get before the war starts. And so we'll be completely done with that, and then we'll start working on some other stuff to improve our military. So that's going to be the next focus branch that we go down, is to try and fix the military situation. We'll have the industrial situation as improved as we can. We just won't have enough time to improve it any further. And we don't need to be notified of any of these here. Now, we do have the 150 political power to go in and make an adjustment, though. So we do need to get the aircraft designer. What do we have available for here? For the last slot, I could see going with either of these guys, him or him. Either would work. But the replacement of him would definitely be this guy here to increase stability. But that's not our priorities. The 2 things I want to get here are 1, the aircraft designer, and then 2, the theorist, so we can start knocking out our army doctrines for cheaper. And then we also need to start getting some military high command. The principal one here is to get our army experience going up, and also get the division recovery rate. That's helpful as well. So we do need to get the military high command too. He's 100 political power. Let me see, how much do we have left to research? Yeah, I really feel like we should go for the planes. I don't know if we'll get this in time. Let me just take a look. Is there anything we could be researching while we wait? Because planes don't have to be a priority right now. Yeah, we could wait to do the planes a little bit, I suppose, so that we can start getting the experience. You know, let's go and do that. Let's try and get the experience first. I think that should be key. As far as the rest of the military high command, we got a few options available here that I can see. This is one we definitely want to get, Constantine here. But we have to get a certain focus before we can get him. But yeah, that's going to be incredibly helpful. That 15% attack for our armor. Yeah, that's really nice. Unfortunately, we have to go down 2 more focuses, I think, to get to that, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check here. And Norway has capitulated. Oh, that's where they're at. I was wondering where the Germans were at. They're in Norway. Yeah, 2 more focuses here. 2 more focuses to get that, guys. So we won't be able to do it right now. But yeah, this is going to take most of the year here. And here in 1940 is getting those 2 focuses. Can we see what the Germans are working on? We cannot. We have no idea what they're currently going after. Can't get a naval doctrine knocked out. Do we want to go with that right now? Let's wait. I don't know. It does take a long time to get down the politicized military, but you know what? We'll just wait. So with the radar, we do have to add that to the ships again. We also need to get radar stations, and this is all giving the coordination as well, which is a new stat. Do we want to go with the next one? Yeah. Go ahead and get that last advanced radio. Again, just trying to rapidly increase our breakthrough just through that, through the radios, will result in a ton of breakthrough for our divisions. So we are still working on these factories here, guys. We're building the civilian factories slower now since we did end up getting that 1 focus done before we got these finished. So we'll get these done, then the focus will grant 2 more. So that'll get us up to like 10 here for the 3rd line. Again, not quite where I'd like to be at, frankly, at this point. We'll get to maybe another week or 2 here, guys. We are going to have to end the episode here. In fact, we're going to go ahead and end it right now. Yeah, unfortunately, we'll have to go ahead and end it here. We got a ton of divisions currently training up here to put up all along the front line. Remember that these penal divisions are very large, 42 combat with, so a significant size division here with a lot of defense. They should do okay. They're not going to be great on attack or doing damage to the enemy, but the defense is very high. So they should hopefully hold out if you have enough of them on the front line. So that's the reason why we're trying to get those guys trained up. But they won't likely hold up against medium tanks for very long. Because, yeah, they have no ability to defend themselves against those medium tanks. I'm only seeing 1 right now, but I expect we'll see more. Supply issues over here, so that's kind of a problem. We might want to go ahead and just make sure we adjust these guys here for now. Just make sure that supply fixes itself. There we go. Beautiful. Just anywhere where we're facing some type of supply issue, just go ahead and get the motorized over there, just to fix it. Alright, so that looks good. So it'll be 4 total full-size defensive armies. So that's not even counting the offensive armies. And then we might want to throw a couple more divisions down here as well, because that's probably not going to be enough. In fact, I might go ahead and send somebody down there now. We'll just send this guy over there, because they do have some troops here. And so yeah, we don't want them breaking through there. So yeah, that's just the defensive armies. And then we have all the offensive armies as well, which will likely have maybe 2 full-size armies for offense. We might even split these up some and like have the tanks be in their own separate army. A lot of different options for how we're going to do this, guys. We got about a year left before the war, so I don't think it's going to start next episode. I think it'll be the one after that. I think we'll have another episode to prepare, guys. And then the episode after that, I think we will be attacked by the Germans. So not a lot of time left to prepare. We're going to do as much as we can to be able to get this done here. We will get the railroad guns done soon, so we'll have at least one of those. Looks like we already got one done. Yeah, we already got a railroad gun done. So that'll appear here in Moscow. But it doesn't pop up to let you know that you have a unit that's not assigned anywhere. Yeah, that's interesting. So we want to go ahead and put these guys onto the area of attack, which is going to be here. So probably all the way down here. Now they do have to stay on the rails. Of course, that's not surprising that railway guns are restricted to the rails. But yeah, we'll put them down here for this point of attack. And I think that would be the only one that we have definitely done before the war starts. We are increasing our production rate, so perhaps we might get this one done. Oh yeah, January. So yeah, we'll definitely get another one done. All right, so we'll have at least 2, probably 3. Yeah, I think we'll have 3 done in time. So we'll have 3 railway guns to help us out against the Germans. I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment to help us see you on the next one. And thanks for watching.